Are you selling or begging? In every phone call, every inbox message, how many times have you thought, "I'm almost there," only to be met with silence or the cold reply? Let me think about it. You've likely felt discouraged, asking yourself, "Did I say something wrong? Was I not convincing enough?" But the brutal truth is this. It's not that the client has no need. It's that you're not worth their time yet. You're not sharp enough for them to feel that losing you means losing an opportunity. You're not professional enough to be seen as an advisor instead of a mere salesperson. And the most painful truth, you can change all of that if you know how. So how do you turn a scattered conversation into a solid calendar commitment right from the first interaction? The answer is just ahead, if you truly want to regain control of the game. Part 1. Meeting metrics are leading indicators. Most sellers fall for the illusion that revenue is the most important metric. That's a dangerous mistake. Revenue is the end result, not something you can actively control every day. The only metric you truly own is the number of quality meetings with potential customers. Each meeting is a granted opportunity to influence, uncover needs, and lay the foundation for conversion. Without meetings, there is no sales process. Focus all your energy on consistently creating meetings with the right people, strategically. If you keep clinging to revenue while ignoring meetings, you're betting on what you cannot control. You'll always be reactive, dependent on market luck, random calls, or accidental opportunities. And when the quarter ends, you'll look back to find an empty pipeline and a drained spirit. That's the consequence of neglecting the input foundation. The solution is to set clear daily goals, how many calls, how many meetings scheduled. Take action today by setting a KPI for meeting volume as a non-negotiable rule. Train yourself never to leave a call without a specific next step in place. That's how you keep your pipeline hot and stay in control of the sales chain. And to truly generate valuable meetings, you must start by choosing the right people to meet. Part 2. Mindset for selecting the right people to meet. Scheduling a meeting doesn't mean you're getting closer to a deal. In fact, many sellers waste precious time on meetings that offer no conversion potential. The mistake lies in targeting people who are easy to reach, not decision makers. A meaningless meeting is one with someone who needs to check with their boss. Every explanation falls flat. To build strong sales momentum, the person you meet must hold enough power or influence in their organization. You can't expect a contract if you knock on the wrong door from the start. The one who controls the budget is the only destination. If you keep talking to intermediaries, all that awaits is delay, detours, and disappointment. Every time you present, your message gets diluted. The sales chain gets disrupted, your information twisted, and trust eroded. Instead of chasing meeting quantity, prioritize the quality and accuracy of who you face. One right meeting is worth 10 wrong ones. Anyone can listen, but not everyone can decide. Before booking, clarify. Does this person have signing authority, direct relevance to the issue, and a clear goal? If not, keep looking. Build clear criteria for filtering. When sellers act like consultants, they don't compromise for convenience. They find the right person at the right time with the right goal. That's how you shorten the sales cycle. But choosing the right person isn't enough. You also need to decisively eliminate those who don't belong in the game. Part 3. Early disqualification of unfit prospects. One of the most dangerous mistakes is keeping too many unqualified people on your contact list just because they seem approachable. Sellers often feel reassured when someone agrees to talk, but that agreement doesn't equal potential. Without clear criteria, you'll lose control of your pipeline. Instead of progressing, you'll cycle through half-baked leads, not closing, not eliminating. That's a sign of latent stagnation in your sales system. Time won't come back. Your energy isn't infinitely renewable. Holding on to unfit prospects chokes the flow of growth. The more such meetings, the more your focus gets scattered. You lose sight of clear goals. Every appointment with a non-decision maker takes you further from the real target. The result isn't just missed opportunities, but gradually eroded self-confidence from dull conversations. You think you're working hard, but in reality, you're stuck in place. Without filtering, you'll never be light enough to accelerate. Change your approach from the first minute. In the first call, ask truly qualifying questions. Listen for tone, reflexes, their understanding of the issue, and how they describe their organization. If they talk only in fragments, lack vision, and have no real influence, politely end the call. You weren't born to please everyone. You're here to serve decision makers. Every minute saved is another chance to invest in someone truly worth it. And once you've filtered for the right person, how you approach them will determine everything. Approach them like a doctor, not a seller. Part 4. The doctor-style approach. Customers are highly defensive. They've been through too many encounters with sellers eager to pitch solutions before understanding the problem. Resistance kicks in the moment they sense haste. They feel manipulated, unheard, and immediately shut down trust. This is a major reason why conversion rates stay low even with good products. The flaw is in the way you first show up. When you jump in with a scripted pitch, you come off as someone wanting to win, not to understand. And customers walk away. Contrast this with the image of a doctor. A professional never prescribes before diagnosing. They listen carefully to every symptom, examine thoroughly, ask open-ended questions, and only then reach a conclusion. In sales, this model creates a sense of safety for the customer. They begin to trust you because you truly care and don't rush to offer solutions. When buyers feel examined rather than sold to, they lower their defenses. That's when real information surfaces. Trust is the gateway that opens all doors. Every question you ask should uncover the real issue. Don't settle for surface-level sharing. Dig deeper. When they say, "We haven't optimized our strategy," don't just nod. Ask, "Why do you think that? What's making it ineffective? What are the specific consequences?" These questions not only reflect your professional caliber, but help the customer reflect more clearly. The more you probe, the more they'll believe you're the right partner. Don't explain too soon. Step back so they can step forward. Many sellers fall into the expert proof trap, trying to show they know everything from the first minute. They pitch solutions, data, and case studies right after a shallow comment. That's a mistake. Being too quick makes the customer feel they've lost control of the conversation. You unintentionally become a pressure source, not a partner. Change your approach. Lead with genuine curiosity. Keep the pace calm but steady, and wait for the customer to invite your input. Develop a question framework based on a diagnostic mindset. Start by identifying general issues, then break them into symptoms, and assess the consequences. End with a question about expectations and future goals. Each customer needs a tailored question set based on their context. Write it out, practice, record yourself, listen back, and refine. When you clarify their problem better than they can themselves, there's no competition. You're chosen because you're the only one who understands them deeply. Once trust is built through a precise approach, it's time to help them clearly see the upside value, making your meeting irresistible. Part 5. Extracting upside value from the customer. To get a customer to agree to meet, they must see clear, immediate benefits. What makes them decline isn't a lack of persuasion. It's that they don't feel the meeting is worth their time. Their minds are full of competing priorities. If you don't elevate your meeting on that list, you'll be silently removed. Don't talk about your solution. Help them visualize what's being lost if they stay the same. Action is driven by what one can gain, or what one risks losing. Many sellers try to prove ROI using their own words. They share figures, reports, profit models, but all from the seller's side. That's ineffective. What customers need isn't your numbers, it's their own realization, guided by your questions. When someone reaches a conclusion themselves, They believe it far more than hearing it from others. Commitment stems from a sense of ownership, and ownership begins with internal value awareness. Don't say we help clients grow 30% in revenue. Instead, ask if you optimize your current process. How much growth do you think your company could achieve next quarter? Once the customer says the number, your job is done. They've painted the value picture. They've cast you as the bridge to that goal, and they've confirmed the issue is worth solving. In sales, the customer's words carry 10 times more weight than any seller's persuasion. Creating a sense of missing out is one of the strongest pulls for customers to agree to a meeting. If they feel maintaining the status quo might cost them revenue, clients, or market position, they'll act. Ask about what they're letting slip. If nothing changes in the next 3 months, what could happen to your market standing? Such questions open a new space where the meeting is no longer a talk, but an escape from a looming problem. Instead of convincing with logic, spark urgency and belief that change is necessary. A successful meeting begins not with data, but with the feeling of falling behind the market. Use short examples, sharp metaphors, or relatable real-life stories to build empathy. When they see themselves in that situation, they'll want out. And you are the one offering the way out through a meeting that's truly worth anticipating. So how do you smoothly transition from a conversation to a meeting invitation without creating pressure? Part 6. Effective transition lines to secure a meeting. The moment you shift from conversation to meeting invitation is the most critical point of the entire call. Many fail here because they don't know how to make a smooth transition or choose the wrong approach. Saying, "Are you free Monday or Wednesday?" sounds like asking for permission. It weakens the expert image you've built throughout the conversation. In contrast, the right approach is a guided suggestion. Would it help if I shared a few practical approaches? It might be easier if we meet in person. When you begin with a suggestion, the customer is more likely to agree naturally because they don't feel pushed. They're not being forced to make a decision on the spot. They're simply responding to a reasonable proposal. This is the difference between being sold to and being served professionally. Smart sellers don't put customers on the defensive. They hand over a sense of control while still maintaining initiative. A soft yet steady transition line keeps the momentum going and significantly increases the chances of getting the meeting scheduled. To improve your effectiveness, practice each invitation type tailored to different personality styles. With analytical clients, try. If it sounds like a good fit, I could suggest a deeper discussion. With fast-paced clients, go with something direct. Let's meet to map out some clear directions. Adjust your tone, pace, and language to match your client's style. This is how you elevate your professional game. When the invitation is personalized, the customer won't feel you're selling, they'll feel you're worth their time. However, a meeting only truly matters if it's tied to a clear, specific next step, not left drifting in ambiguity. Part 7. A clear next step. No ambiguity. Few things are more unfortunate than a promising conversation that ends in vagueness. Phrases like, "Let me think about it," or "I'll get back to you," signal that you missed a critical opportunity securing the next step. Without a concrete commitment, the customer quickly returns to their routine and forgets everything that was discussed. Initial interest fades over time. A connection without a scheduled follow-up is like a contract without a signature. It may sound hopeful, but is practically meaningless. What you need to do is put every interaction on a clear track. If the customer says, "Call me later," respond by proactively suggesting a time frame and sending a specific calendar invite. Don't let anything fall into the gray zone. Even if the meeting is set far ahead, get it on the calendar, because what's written down is more likely to happen. Train yourself to follow one rule: never end a call without a scheduled next step. This is how you keep the pipeline warm and retain control over the entire sales chain. And even in the face of rejection, you still have one last chance to test sincerity and turn the situation around. Part 8. Handling rejection and testing sincerity. The moment a customer says, "Now's not the right time," is when most sellers accept the end. But this is actually where things begin. The reason they give is just surface level. Behind it may be hesitation, doubt, or simply a polite excuse. If you back off immediately, you miss the chance to assess whether the customer is truly a potential lead. If you don't ask further, you'll never know which rejections are real and which are not. And you'll waste too much time chasing vague promises. Not every customer rejects because they lack need. Sometimes they're just testing you. They want to see if you believe in the value you offer. If you instantly agree to follow up 6 months later without asking anything else, you've shown you're willing to withdraw without resistance. That weakens the expert position you just built. In a market full of choices, weak sellers are the first to be eliminated. You don't have to be aggressive, but you must stand firm in the value you bring. Instead of nodding to the rejection, pause. Use a statement with weight, I understand. But many people say that when they're genuinely not interested. Is that the case here? This isn't a challenge, it's a clarity tool. Those uninterested will say so. Those who are busy will feel respected because you asked directly. That moment helps you clearly qualify and avoid being strung along. Letting go of those who aren't a fit frees up your time for those who are. When the other person confirms they're just busy, take one more step to avoid missing out. Should we tentatively block a time next month? We can adjust if needed. This maintains connection without pressure. The customer feels in control, and you gain a tangible anchor. The clearer the next step, the lower the risk of losing contact. Don't let things end with empty promises. Without a calendar entry, everything you've done may be forgotten within hours. You need to prepare strong closing lines for rejection scenarios. Don't argue or justify. Learn to affirm reality calmly and confidently. Statements like, "I don't want to bother you if this isn't a fit," or "if now's not the right time." We can close this and revisit later. Make you stand out. Customers will see you're not desperate. And sometimes, that very composure reopens doors they were about to shut, because you display the character of someone worth partnering with. It all starts by not letting emotions control you. When rejected, don't rush to label it a failure. See it as a chance to peel back the true situation. Every rejection tests whether you truly believe in your value. If you do, you'll find a way to stay in the game without losing mutual respect. Set a tentative meeting, propose it without pressure, and most importantly, leave the call with an open door, even if it's just a narrow one. Real opportunity often lies behind that first reflexive no. A close is not a closing. It's the final nudge that forces thinking to shift. How many meetings have been lost just because you were afraid to ask a direct question? How many deals died before birth because you avoided a little friction? Time waits for no one. Either step up with sharpness and decisiveness, or be eliminated by calls that lead nowhere. Ask yourself, is it worth spending a whole day just waiting for someone to maybe reply in silence? The sales machine won't run on its own. Stand up, grab your calendar, and turn every coming minute into a purposeful strike. Every right meeting is a win. Thank you for watching the whole video. Please like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos.